Bigfoot comms, do you copy? Come in. Please stand by for video transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to Bigfoot Comms. I'm so glad that you made it back. We're a brand new channel, so the more people that we get to like and subscribe, the better we're going to do. And I'm very happy that you're back with us today. Today we're going to be reviewing this Hiroyasu IC-980 Pro. It's a nice little radio. Seems to be a robust little radio, shockingly. Let me tell you a little bit about this radio, and then we'll get into looking at the actual radio just a little bit. This is a 25-watt micro mobile radio, and I purchased this through York International off AliExpress. At the time of this video, the price is about $49.95, which is really good. I'll put the link in the description below so that you guys can go take a look at that and buy one. I'm going to give you a little bit of the specs on this thing. It is a VHF-UHF dual band, transmits 136 to 174 VHF, and in UHF, it's 400 to 470 megahertz. It also has FM radio from 76 megahertz to 108 megahertz for the FM radio. This thing has two power settings. The settings are going to be 10 watts on low and 25 watts on high. It has a 200 memory channel bank. That's not a lot in today's radios, but for somebody like me, I don't think I'll ever even fill 200 memory spots. The input voltage, now this is going from the actual book. It will function as low as 10 volts to a max of 15 volts DC. It does include a T-style connector, and it comes with a standard cigarette lighter plug because it's not a high amp draw unit. So it will work just for simply, so it makes it pretty portable if you want to move it from vehicle to vehicle. Just use that cigarette lighter plug. Seems to work pretty well. I've tried it already. You'll get to see that here just in a little bit. The amp draw on high power is only 4 amps DC, and on low power, it only draws 1.6 amps. The weight is approximately 450 grams. Here's the thing. Programming is easy with the microphone keypad, or there is CPS software available. It's kind of hard to find, but I will list that in the link below also for you guys if you buy one of these. Very simple to download, very simple to use. And here's the very cool thing. It uses a standard USB-C cable. First time I've seen that for programming in one of these radios. The download software's, it's not hard to find if you know where you're looking. So I'll put that in the link below for you, a place for you to find that. Here's some of the key features that I like. It's got a large color display. It's a very small size. You'll see that here in just a minute. It's got a nice, robust handheld mic with a full function keypad. It's got a noise quieting feature on it. And that kind of goes both ways where you're transmitting or receiving. I noticed that when you transmit, it kind of compresses the voice a little bit, and it kind of gives it a good digital sound that's clean. You don't hear a lot of staticky stuff in the background. The other thing is they've got a fan on the heat sink. Even though it, high power is 25 watts, it will kick on, should the unit warm up a little bit. Now, there's a couple of dislikes, but nothing major. There is a loud clicking relay noise if you keep it in dual watch mode, but that can be turned off on. And the other thing I don't like is the complicated to switch into scan mode. There's a complicated little deal you have to kind of go through to do that. Sorry about that. That's my notifications here on my camera. Anyways, the anyways, on this dual relay, this dual watch relay mode, if you have it in this mode, there is a constant clicking, especially if you're in scan mode. It'll kind of click, 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 click back and forth. And the way to remedy that, I found, is just to turn the dual watch off. I mean, I personally don't need the dual watch all the time. I put the, there is two channel banks that you can monitor at once. I usually just put the one channel on one side A and one frequency on the B side, and go from there. Usually all I use is a repeater channel. I usually use my private repeater on the bank A, and then on bank B I'll put like a talk around TAC channel, and go from there. Let me let you just take a quick look at this thing and kind of show you what it looks like, other than this pretty white box you're looking at. And I did notice one thing I do want to add is the manual seems to be done really well. The English is, usually you get a lot of that Chinglish stuff when you're dealing with these radios, but I found that reading the manual was very straightforward, easy to read and understand. So anyways, let me move this and get into this just a little bit. So let me move this box out of the way here for you. And there's the prize. Keep your eye on the prize, as they say. I do have a little Vree 42-inch tactical folding antenna connected to it just at this moment, just for testing purposes, just to kind of show you what she'll do and not do. Anyways, very small. I didn't take measurements on this, but you can see my hand. When I put my hand on this, it's really, really small. I mean, I know my hand is approximately 8 inches long this way. So, 4 inches width, by 5 to 6 inches this way. About 2 inches or so thick. If you look at the handheld mic here, it's fully lit, which is really neat. I need that in my car all the time. The other thing you noticed is that in this full keyboard on this thing, you can change all the functions, the settings, plug in frequencies, and this does actually work the radio. So, you can, let me turn this around here for you just a little bit so maybe you can see the front screen here and kind of show you what that looks like. But anyways, yeah, as you can scroll through the different channels, and I've got the little beeps turned off. I've kind of already gone through and did a little programming on this. Yeah, I'll key up my private repeater here real quick and just kind of let you hear it. So here you go. So yeah, that's in on my repeater mode. And then I do have a talk around channel that I use pretty frequently. This thing can be used as a ham radio for you ham radio operators. As I said before, I am not a ham radio operator. I've considered going ahead and getting my ham license. I mean, I know enough about it. I could pass the test. I've just kind of, for my own personal reasons, have held off on doing that. I don't feel that right at the moment that it's absolutely necessary. I have lots of respect for the ham guys, as I said before. And there's a lot of really good ones out there, but I do find that there's some drama out there in the ham land, and I kind of want to avoid that if I possibly can. I will be actually obtaining my GMRS license. I'm going to be bringing you guys along on that adventure. I'm going to walk you through getting the license process, getting the correct FCC regulated equipment to use those frequencies on GMRS. A buddy of mine, Gail, we call him, his call sign on 11 meters and 10 meters is Crosswire. You'll hear him later in the video, I should say. And he's going to do a little road test with me. So listen, I think for the money, this thing is a really good little radio. I was actually very pleasantly surprised. This is the first 25 watt mobile that I've ever taken a look at. And I didn't really have high expectations for this. I mean, it is what it is. It's not a professional grade, you know, something to beat around in a taxi cab or a construction truck for 5 years. This is definitely a personal communications, which is all I would use it for. And it's inexpensive, you know, something happens to it, quits, goes out, whatever. I mean, it's $49. So, you know, in summary, so far, I'm very impressed with this little unit, especially the CPS programming. It's lightning fast, and I feel other radio manufacturers could benefit switching to this style of programming. I don't know why they don't. They use this complicated software that's got these special chords and special plugins, and they're all different. I was a little skeptical of the power and how well it would reach out there, but it seems to perform nicely. In a minute, I'll be taking you with me on my road test journey and give you a demonstration. Overall, I think if you're looking for a compact radio that's easy to program and install into your vehicle, this is a nice choice, especially if you're on a tight budget. So listen, y'all, come with me. Let's hit the road, and remember to like and subscribe. It's you who's going to make this channel possible for me to do more reviews and other cool stuff. And I love y'all for coming and coming by and visit and giving me a chance here. If there's anything that you guys would like to see me review, please comment below. Like I said, in the description, I'm going to put links to York International. They've been really good, fast shipping. Really great communication. This took a little bit of time to get to me, but it wasn't their fault. It was in the U.S. mail that we had an issue. But they stayed right on the ball with me and told me, you know, if it didn't reach me by a certain period of time, that they would refund me or ship me a new product. So, I mean, I guess I can't ask for more than that. Anyways, y'all stand by, because when I come back, we're going to be in the car and we're going to put this thing to a little road test. I'm going to take a walkie-talkie with me, and the way this is going to work is I'm going to use the Hiroyasu to transmit back to my repeater at the home base. And now in the car, you're going to notice that the walkie doesn't receive very well due to being inside that metal structure, and it's kind of an antenna killer. But I will have a roof mounted antenna using the Hiroyasu. And then you're going to see also, I'll go the other direction. I'll transmit from the walkie to the Hiroyasu so that you can see even several miles out that they both transmit and receive really well. Maybe you'll get to hear some of the audio. All right, so y'all stand by, and when we come back, you're going to be in the car with me, Mr. Bigfoot.
One eternity later.
And we're back. So we're in the car now. We're going to do a little road test of this Hiroyasu IC-980 Pro. What we're going to be doing today is just going to be kind of talking through my personal repeater and seeing what it sounds like. I've got a buddy that's going to be answering me down at his shop down across town where we live here, and maybe we can get to talking to him back and forth a little bit and see how this thing sounds. Anyways, y'all hang in there and we'll see what we can get done. How about you there, Crosswire? Can you hear me on the private repeater?
I'm back on that. I stepped inside my truck.
I just hollered at you and said, are you hearing me on the private repeater?
Roger, you're coming in good down here.
I'm talking to you on this Hiroyasu IC-980 Pro. Just doing some field testing, and I wanted to get a shout out to somebody else across town that see how this thing sounded and see what a report was like.
Well, it's working. It sure is working.
10-4. Well, I do appreciate your help. I'll just so you know, you're going to be on a YouTube video, so if that's okay with you.
doesn't mean one bit. You just do what you gotta do.
10-4, appreciate you. Want to just kind of show you a little distance testing and how this thing is sounding. I've got the Allurance walkie up in the dash and the windshield so that it's, as you know, vehicles are antenna killers for inside the vehicle. So I put it up on the dash and the window to give it the best chance to work. And I'm basically going to drive a few miles more out of town here, as you can see, and then try to connect to the repeater. And you got to remember, it's not going from my radio, the antenna that's on top of the car. It's going from the antenna back to the repeater back to my walkie. So that's kind of the setup. As you know how repeaters work, I'm sure. Just for you that don't know much about repeaters, that's how it works. Anyways, let's let me get up to speed here so I can stop driving like a granny and get some miles laid down. I think right about now we're about 4 miles as the crow flies from my repeater. Radio service, radio check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Still getting service. It's still hitting the radio. Here in a minute I'll do a backwards test and I'll grab the handy talkie and talk through the IC-980 Pro and let you hear what that sounds like from the handy talkie going back through the repeater. And we're about I'd say 4 miles out, 5 miles out, somewhere in that ballpark. Radio service, radio check, test 1 2. Okay, well, I'm still getting a kerchunk back from the repeater, so I am hitting the repeater. It's just that my handy talkie here isn't receiving from the repeater. Like I said, it's inside the vehicle. You can't really blame the radio too much. If I was standing outside the vehicle with it, I'm sure it would be doing fine. So I know we're about 6 miles, 6.5 miles now as the crow flies from where that repeater antenna is. The repeater antenna is up about 20 feet high from the ground, 20 feet up, a little bit above my roof. It was just kind of a quick homemade throw up job, and from where I live, I got to kind of be careful about what I'm putting up there, so I can't make it look too god awful. I'd love to have a 300-foot tower and throw up there. That's every radio guy's dream, I guess, but it doesn't always work that way. Do another check. Radio check, radio check. Audio test, audio test. Still kerchunking the repeater, and that's 7 miles, 8 miles out now. So we're doing really well with it. I'll show you the radio again. It's down here if you can see it. There you go. Maybe you can see the screen. I don't know if you can or not. I can't tell from here, but just in case. I'm keying now. And it's kind of kerchunking it. There we go. So I'm just trying to film and drive and talk on this radio and the handheld mic. Radio check, radio check. Let me kind of set the volume up just a little higher. There we go. And we're coming up on top of the hill, and we're about 8 miles, 8.5 miles out now. Radio service, radio check, test 1 2. Still kerchunking that repeater good and strong, so man, it's doing really well. Not even any static coming back through there. That's pretty impressive as far as I'm concerned. All right, I'm gonna turn around here. We're about 8.5 miles, I know at least at. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn around here. You guys get the point. I don't want to bore you all day long with this stuff. Get up here and turn around somewhere. And I'll get back with you. And the next thing you're going to see, we're going to do a little test from the handy talkie to the Hiroyasu. All right, we're here with the handy talkie now, the Allurance HD1 GPS. And wow, I'm surprised about this one. Anyways, it's hitting the repeater and you should be able to hear me. Radio service, radio check, test 1 2, test 1 2. Still about 8.5, 9 miles from the repeater as the crow flies, so that's doing pretty well. I'm shocked. Yeah, I mean, so I know going back into town it's going to work all the way. This is kind of a view of where I'm at and where I'm stopped, just so you can see everything. I'm just kind of parked out here, just kind of hanging out. Show you again here, and you can see the screen light up. Radio service, radio check. There you go. Radio service, radio check, test 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 on the Hiroyasu IC-980 Pro. Alright, YouTube, listen, please like, subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel like crazy, and only y'all can help. And if you have any questions, comments, put them below. If there's something you want me to review, take a look at, test out, I'll be more than happy to. We're just, like I said, brand new, squeaking new channel. We're just a baby in all scheme of things. So hopefully y'all like and enjoyed, and please subscribe and pass along the link to the video to as many people as you can. We appreciate it, and we're going to be out.